Emma Raducanu breaks silence after scary mid-match retirement at Wuhan Open. Shame I couldn't, I thrive in Asia. It's where I truly feel like home, Emma Raducanu reflected last year, sharing her connection to the region, especially China, where her mother hails from and her grandmother still lives. Yet, injuries have repeatedly halted her momentum. Last year, sprained ligaments in her left foot at the Hana Bank Korea Open in Seoul. This year, fate struck again as she was forced to retire from her first-round match at the Wuhan Open due to illness. But through every setback, the former U.S. Open champion's grit and hunger remain unshaken, now shining through as she courageously shares her health update after her mid-match retirement. It was supposed to be another stepping stone in Emma Raducanu's steady return to form, but fate had other plans. The 2021 U.S. Open champion endured a narrow loss to Jessica Pegula in the round of 32 at the China Open in Beijing before setting her sights on Wuhan. Yet, as she walked out onto center court in Hubei province to face An Li, the stage was set for a far different story, one marked not by triumph, but by trial. From the first few games, the signs were unmistakable. The British star was struggling to breathe freely in the sweltering, oppressive heat that blanketed the court like a furnace. On Threads, Raducanu recently shared an image that told its own quiet story. Perched on a hospital bed in China, wearing a navy blue Nike hoodie and dark sunglasses, she appeared fragile yet composed. Beneath the photo, she wrote, "Last day at the doctor's in Wuhan. Feeling better now. Shame I couldn't continue there, but thank you for the messages," punctuated by a love heart emoji wrapped in a bandage. A message that resonated deeply, a subtle reminder that behind every athlete's fierce exterior lies a human fighting unseen battles. As the match unfolded, the toll of the conditions became painfully evident. Raducanu dropped the opening set 6-1, her movement slowing, her rhythm fading. Down 4-1 in the second, she called for help. A WTA physio and tournament doctor hurried to her side, their presence underscoring the seriousness of the situation. Moments later, after a brief consultation, the 22-year-old made the heartbreaking decision to retire from the match and the tournament, citing dizziness. Her exit left the crowd subdued, a silence that spoke louder than applause. Across the net, An Li showed nothing but grace and empathy in her post-match remarks. "First, I want to wish Emma a fast recovery. Not sure what, but looked like she wasn't feeling good," she said. "But yeah, tough match last time, so I knew it was going to be tough, but I wish her to feel better, but yeah, I'm happy with my performance, I wasn't pretty solid the entire match." Her words, soft yet sincere, wrapped the rivalry in respect, a rare glimpse of camaraderie amidst the chaos of competition. For Raducanu, the road ahead remains shrouded in uncertainty. She has now won just 2 of her last 5 matches during this Asian swing and held match points before losing in both the Korea Open and the China Open. Her upcoming schedule hangs in the balance, though she remains entered in several late-season events. A wild card awaits her at the WTA 500 in Ningbo, a battlefield stacked with heavyweights like Jessica Pegula, Mira Andreeva, and Jasmine Paolini. Ironically, Ningbo was meant to be her grand return last year before a foot injury in Seoul derailed her plans. Now, after the dizzying setback in Wuhan, questions linger over whether she will take the court again in 2025. She's also listed for the Toray Pan-Pacific Open in Tokyo from October 20th to 26th, another WTA 500 she has yet to debut in. But as her recovery takes its course, Raducanu recently dropped a hint that perhaps her proudest achievement may not even belong to the tennis court. Maybe, just maybe, it lies in her resilience, the quiet art of standing back up every time the game knocks her down. Emma Raducanu says her proudest achievement lies beyond tennis. Emma Raducanu's 2021 U.S. Open triumph wasn't just a win, it was a moment that shook the sporting world. That night in New York, when a teenager conquered the impossible, she didn't just lift a trophy, she lifted the spirit of a generation. 4 years later, the echoes of that victory still resonate, inspiring countless young girls to pick up a racket and chase their own dreams. Across the world, and especially in Britain, Raducanu's influence still runs deep. Many young players proudly name her as their idol, the reason they first stepped onto a court. Speaking at the Wuhan Open, Raducanu smiled as she reflected on that lasting impact. "It's funny to think that I have had that impact," she said. "It's really nice to be reminded, that you're inspiring younger kids to play. And it's very easy to lose sight of that kind of thing because you get so absorbed in your own world."